I'm so excited. I have something really fun planned for tonight. We will be using our Radiant Rainbow stamp set, but we're going to use it a little bit differently. We're not going to use the main stamps from it. And we're going to bring back a blast from the past and kind of play with that. Okay, so this is the set that's in the inspiration box this month. It's called Radiant Rainbows. And the inspiration box includes this set, the dies. It's got, I'll show you a couple more things that come in there. It's also got the card panels. It's got conversation clippings. It's got paper. This is the paper pad, but it also has other papers in it. It's got ribbon. Let's see if I have the ribbon handy. I've taken mine apart now as I've been playing with it, but I'll pull together anything I can.
Pamela says hi.
Hi, Pamela. I was just looking for my sequins. Okay, I think I have most of the pieces. I don't have all of the cardstock pieces because I've put them away. I've been playing with it. I actually ordered these again because I love them so much. I was like, okay, I'm going to have more of those. So I replenished my stock on those. And then this is the ribbon and this is the sequins. And one other thing that I almost forgot to tell you is in the inspiration box, we will be using tonight, and that is the Rainbow Sparkle embossing powder, which is really, really pretty, as you will see. So we're going to use this, but we are going to use, I mean, you've probably seen a lot of samples using the bigger stamps. I've seen the sun around a little bit, but we're going to use the little guys because sometimes I think they get overlooked and sometimes people aren't sure quite how to use them. And there's lots of ways to use them. They're really, really nice and versatile, but we're just going to go with one way to use them tonight. We're going to use, let's see, we're going to use this guy and this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, it looks like. So I don't know if I told you all of them, but you'll see as we go. And I'm also going to use this stamp set. This is Unique Unicorn. And I just think rainbows and unicorns just go together, right? They're like peanut butter and jelly. What was that?
It's on sale, 80% off.
Darren said he saw that this is on sale for like $5. So definitely check that out. And there is a coordinating die set. You can see, you can kind of have a preview of what we're going to be using. But yeah, like I said, if you've already got it, it's time to pull it out because, like I said, unicorns and rainbows, they just go together. So, and if you don't have it, talk about lucky. Now is the time to grab it.
Penny says she just got it. She loves unicorns.
It's a cute set, isn't it? Penny said that.
Candy.
Candy said that. Sorry, Candy. I swear, one day I'll be able to hear a little bit better. The door is open. He's literally right around the corner, but it's just enough that I don't always get it. So thanks for your patience with me. So let's go ahead and get started. We're also going to use one of my favorite stencils. This is the Painted Rainbow stencil. And it is so versatile and it's really fun. One of the things I love about it is it's great for showing off your mediums. It's great for lunar paste. It's great for chroma glaze. It's great for embossing powders. There's so much you can do with this. And you can use it. I like the edges. I like the rough edges. You don't have to use the rough edges, but you can. Tonight, we're actually not going to use the rough ends. We're just going to use the middles. But I have used both and love them both. I'm using my stick and stamp mat. You can see mine is well loved. And I will tell you, mine is stained. I'm waiting on, I do have an order in to get the Stick and Stamp Buddy, I believe it's called.
Blending Buddy.
Blending Buddy. Blending Buddy. If you put in Stick and Stamp, you'll still find it. And it's like a little template that will protect your edges. But since I don't have it, I'll use the one that I have one that I'm keeping nice for now. And this is my one that I have actually another one that's really not nice. But this one is my one that I will use live that is already stained anyway. So we'll just add to the beautiful colors on it. So we are going to actually, I just want to make sure I'm don't jump in so fast that I forget everything. You know how it is when you're live. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to do an ink blend of just a rainbow colors. We're going to use Simon Hurley inks. I'm going to start with Bee Sting, which is our pretty red. And I'm not really doing anything fancy. You can go in circles, you can go back and forth. I'm not too worried about it. And you can bleed over to the other side a little bit. I actually kind of like that. Though you don't want to move your stencil any more than you have to, because you want to make sure you keep those white lines white. So be gentle as far as that goes. And you can go as dark or as light as you want. I think I'm going to aim for somewhere in the middle. And I know I have way more than enough ink on here. I'm working for speed here. Okay, so we've got our red. We'll just go in kind of a rainbow order. We'll do our pink next. This is Prom Queen. This is one of my favorites. I say that about so many of these inks. Simon Hurley has a really nice ink line. My favorite color is always going to be, well, as far as I can see, it's going to always be Clear Skies, though. I just think that's the prettiest blue.
Crown Me.
Crown Me is a pretty one, too. Darren likes Crown Me because it's purple.
Scary that I know that.
He says it's scary that he knows that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Guppy, which is going to be our orange. Oops. How is everyone? What is everyone up to? Kind of like the later time. Gives me a little bit of time to just, I don't know, have a little bit of a break in between work and in between live, and just get a few things out of my way. Don't have to worry about dinner.
Pamela's working on a mini album.
Oh, Pamela, that sounds fun. What kind of mini album is it?
And Candy is playing along with you. She just started blending.
Oh, Candy, how fun. I hope you enjoy. This is a nice, just easy, fun one, too.
Donna says hi.
Hi, Donna. Welcome. And now let's pull out our, oh, I don't think I told you that the yellow is called Shooting Star. I love that yellow. I think it's such a pretty yellow. And this is Later Gator. And I'm just kind of unceremoniously doing this.
Is working on some tags.
Carrie is working on tags?
Mary.
Mary is working on tags. Well, that sounds fun, Mary. Tags are fun. Sometimes I won't do tags for a long time, and then I'll get on a kick and do a bunch of tags. Do you guys do that? It's like you rediscover. You could go a lot darker than I'm going, but I'm good with going a little bit lighter. I don't know. I do like a lot of color, but we're gonna go fairly light, except maybe on this color, because it is Clear Skies, and this one's my favorite. Isn't that pretty? That is just the prettiest blue. Like the perfect shade, in my opinion. Just is one of those colors that makes me happy. All right, and I think we'll do one more. Like I said, I kind of like this color. Okay, and now, I'm sorry, I gotta do it one more time. I just feel like that middle needs a little bit more. Okay, now we'll do, just for you, Darren, we'll do Crown Me. Woo! I know he likes it. I don't know if he likes it that much, but. All right. Good end to our rainbow colors here. Am I in the camera okay, hun?
Good.
I don't have the tablet, so I just don't want to be too low. Okay, thank you. You got my back.
You're actually perfect.
Wow.
Donna says hi.
Hi, Donna. All right, so now we're going to just do...
Rebecca says hi.
Hi, Rebecca.
She's got a month old and she's missing so much crafting time. She loves the colors.
Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Well, I'm glad that you're here. Okay, so I'm just lifting it up. You can see I'm just kind of want to keep it in the same spot, but we're going to do some embossing. So I'm just going to lift it up. And this is the nice thing. I don't want to get this all over the mat, but I do want to get it on my paper.
Rebecca says her nursery is a boho rainbow theme.
Oh, Rebecca, that sounds so cute. Boho, what?
Boho rainbow theme.
Boho rainbow theme. I bet that is really cute. Okay, so now I'm grabbing my embossing ink. And now we're going to just start off with those fun little stamps. But first I'm going to wipe off my hands because I have been ink blending and messing with the stencil a little bit. So I don't want to spoil it. So I just want to make sure my hands are free from ink for a minute anyway. Okay, so now we're going to start off with some hearts. And we're going to put those on our red, and I wanted to grab some hearts for the pink too. I think I've got 3 of them that have hearts anyway, but so I'm just going to go right over the stencil, and I am going to go ahead and stamp. You can move your stamp around if you don't want them to be on there straight, if you want to add a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? If you want to stagger it a little bit more. Pizzazz. That works, Darren. Okay, so now we'll do the pink one. We'll move this one. We don't want them all to be the same. So you can move the stamp, or as I'm doing, I'm moving the stencil. Okay. And this will all be a lot more impressive once our embossing powder is on there and you can see what we're doing. So now I'm going to use these, look like little flowers. That's this stamp right here. Flowers or stars. I kind of like that they're either one. You can make that work to your advantage depending on your creation. And the nice thing is the stencil kind of covers up the edges, so you're not going to over stamp into the next section. All right. And now I've got some that are definitely stars. And if you wanted to, you could do this before you ink blend. You could create a resist. You could just use icicle, which is our clear, if you wanted to do that. And now let's use this leaf. We'll use that on the green. That kind of seems like that would make sense. All right, we're getting there, guys. And now we're gonna do these little raindrops. for our blue. I'm just going to do that straight. It was so weird to pull out my blocks. I don't use blocks very often anymore now that I use my Misty so often. But every once in a while, you gotta have your blocks. And our last one is our last one has hearts. But you're not gonna see a whole lot of them because it's just such a skinny little strip. And that's okay. Just enough to give us some texture. I'm mostly getting the little dots at the top. All right, so now we will, let me find my lid. Oh, there it is. Okay. So now we're gonna pull our Now, you notice that I'm folding the mat and not the paper because I don't want to get my paper all bendy. We'll set that aside and clean that in just a sec, and we'll clean our stencil. But for now, let's go ahead and get some of this beautiful embossing powder. This is the Rainbow Sparkle. I'll use what's in the tray, but let's get some more on there. That's certainly not going to do the trick. I tend to just go for it and then dump it all back in. That might make some of you nervous, but that's how I do it. Do what works for you. Right now my air conditioner is on and it's kind of blowing it, so as long as it stays in the tray, I guess I'm okay, huh? That is seriously way more than I'll ever possibly need for one card. Probably even 20 million. Okay, maybe 20 million might be a little exaggerated, huh? Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure that I've got good coverage on there. You can already see it's not even heated yet, and look how pretty that is. So I'm gonna move that aside, and I will get that all back in the jar after. So now I'm gonna use my handy paper clip, which will just keep it in place for me. So if I had actually heated it while the paper clip was down here, just left it like that, it would have not made that curve so much, but that's okay. No big deal. So you can see, I kind of like to fill it and see if I got everywhere. I think we did pretty well, but it just gives us just a little bit of interest and texture. Okay, so I did one earlier. I think they both look just about the same, which is kind of cool. We'll go with this one. And then I cut a piece of glitter stock. Now, glitter stock is one of the things, I don't remember the color that was in this month's, to be honest with you. I want to say it was purple, but I'm not positive about that. But I know that there was a piece of glitter stock. And you can, there is a link to get just an assortment pack of glitter stock in the link.
I think it was purple.
I think it was purple too. That's what, but, so I just cut down a mat for it. This piece is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And then I cut my mat to 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I just used a little strip, I think it's a 1/2 inch. Yeah, it's a 1/2 inch to use with, this is one of the conversation clippings that came in the inspiration box.
Mary says embossing powder is a great value. A little goes a long way.
I agree. Embossing powder is a great value. And these come with an ounce. I mean, this will last for a long time. And this isn't even the full jar. Most of the jar is still in my tray, see?
And Kate asked, what is the fuchsia color?
The fuchsia color is Prom Queen. Simon Hurley's Prom Queen ink. Okay, so now I just have these little guys in my stash. So I'm going to use those. I've had them in my stash for, I think, probably 5 years. So I think it's time to use them. We have a little bit of time. I wasn't sure how long it would take me to do stuff. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll color this. I do have one already colored, so if you get bored, you can tell me and we'll just move on. But I use a lot of tri-blend markers, which are available on the site. I did not link those because I'm using kind of a combination of several brands. But the tri-blends are ones that BrutusMonroe carries regularly. And then I've got a few more colors. So I'm going to use citrus for my horn. And I'm not going to get super detailed.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Donna R. Welcome.
Donna's on, so I'm trying to...
We have 3 Donnas on tonight. Wow. That's awesome. All right. Oh, let's do the hooves too. Okay. And so now one thing I like to do when I'm doing something that's white, are these the same color? Yeah, they are the same color. This is blue turquoise. Is I like to just go around. I want to give it a little definition, but I'm afraid to get too heavy-handed. Hopefully I won't tonight while I'm live. And we'll just kind of work our way around to make some little shadows.
At least you have your backup.
Yeah, at least I have a backup. That's true. All right. So now I'm mostly going to move that color out. I'm just going to take a blender. Let me see what side is the right side. Okay. And I'm just going to move that color. The blenders, some people think it's to erase color, and it's just to move the color. So I'm just moving the color away from the edges into the middle so it has more room to spread out and to get lighter. That makes sense. And I am by no means an expert on alcohol markers, but you know, I can tell you what I do, what works for me. So as that dries, you won't see so much of that kind of gray look. That's just the blender. You'll just see the blue. So if we need to touch it up, we will. Okay, so now I'm just going to use it to do, I'm going to start with my lightest color and go over the inside of the wings and the ears. And then I'm just going to blend it out just a little bit. I'm not taking this one like so seriously that, you know, we're going to spend an hour just coloring. We want to move on. We want to finish the card, right? Let's use this pink for the cute little collar. I'm telling you, I need to learn how to color live quicker. That's one of my goals. So then I'm going to, with the hair, I'm going to do a lighter purple. Just kind of get the majority of it. I like to kind of leave a little room around the edges in case, just to let the color bleed a little bit if it's going to, so that it doesn't go outside the lines too much. And then, oh, we need to do the tail too. Okay, so now we're just putting a little bit of, just a little bit of low lights, I guess you would call them. And then we'll just kind of blend those out with our lighter color. Just kind of soften those hard lines a little bit. And now we'll get a little bit, we can kind of see how close we want to get to the edges better, if that makes sense. I think that's one of the trickiest parts, is just learning not to be too heavy-handed with the marker. I'm still learning that. Okay, so now we're gonna just step it up a little bit more. We're going to, I think Darren put a link in for an embossing pen. Did you put the embossing pen in there?
I did not. I can add it.
Darren will add it. I think it's sold out right now, but if you have an embossing pen in your crafting arsenal, this is kind of a fun extra little thing you can do. We'll just add a little bit to our...
It's been added.
Thank you, Darren. Darren has added it. May as well just get the rest of that powder out of there, huh? I promise I'll put it all back. All right. That's just going to give us just a little bit more oomph. So let's get that heated. Okay, so let's just say I die cut it because I have one that looks pretty much exactly like it. So we'll just, but I will show you this because I really love our dies. I think our dies really, I think they do a good job of just having everything line up and just making it easy to do. I mean, that's going to be a cinch. So let's start putting our card together. I'm just gonna wipe off some of that powder that I'm throwing around. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we are going to adhere our panel to our mat. And I'm just using some tissue tape. All right. Let's see if I can get this centered on here. At least approaching that. I think we got it. All right. And now, I think that our, you know what, let's add a little bit of just silver string. I don't know how long I've had this in my stash, but I have had it a long time. So one thing I like to do, just when I just want a little bit more, I don't want to cover up this beautiful sparkly background. So I don't want to put like a circle or anything like that. So sometimes I'll just use a little bit of thread.
Donna said you haven't seen it. Candy did a great live last night.
I didn't get to see it, but I will watch that, Candy. I will probably watch it Friday morning. I look forward to it. I had a class that it was the last week, so I'll be able to watch the lives better. Thank goodness. It was a good class though. I really enjoyed it. All right. So let me grab some foam. And I don't need a lot of this. I just want a little bit to give us a little something to give us a little backdrop for our unicorn. I want the unicorn kind of centered. There we go. So just a little something, just so that there's a, you know, makes the unicorn stand out a little bit more. And then we'll put on our stars. I'm gonna put one kind of right here, I think. Let's kind of see where I probably should have put the cinnamon on first, huh? Trust me to do that. Let's see if this will come back off. If you can catch it quick, usually you're okay for something like that. That's the real trick, is catching it right away. And then let's see. I might even want it a little bit lower. And I'm going to put a little bit of just some of my mini foam on the back, if I can find it. There it is.
Candy said I have rainbow sparkle all over me.
Yeah, I do too, Candy. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Mary says very cute.
Thanks, Mary. All right, so now we can tuck our little sentiment. I don't want to cover up any of all of the color, right? So we're gonna just tuck it in kind of in between the blue and the green. And then we'll add our last little star, which I'm still kind of struggling with that top one. I might have to move it. It's gonna bug me. We'll see if I can get away with it. I think this needs to go under this a little bit more. And we're gonna move this guy over a little bit. Thank goodness that guy was repositionable, because my goodness, I definitely pushed the limits on that one. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, so now we just need a little bit more magic. I just have to find my little, I don't know what these are called, but sweet crafty friend sent me these. I have definitely got a weakness for enamel dots. And those just look like they are supposed to be with this. So I think we might even go a little nuts. Should we do one more? We'll do one more on both sides. I think this one needs to be a different size though.
They make a difference.
They definitely kind of finished it off, and this just needed some magical spillover, I think. So now we just need to mat it onto our card base, and we will have our card ready to go. And wow, we did that pretty fast today. All right. Okay. So let's just get that guy centered on our card front. Or at least close enough to fool everybody, right? And there we have our card. How fun is that? Now another thing, you know, I'll just show you these little stamps again, just because I think they're so much fun. So one thing that would be really cute is if you wanted to make a border along the edges, you could do like just black lines, but then just kind of use these little guys around it.
Adorable and cheerful card.
Oh, thank you, Donna. So these would be cute around a border. They'd be cute if you had like a monogram and you wanted to just kind of fancy it up. They would be cute actually used on the letters themselves. There's just so many little things you could do. You can actually build the border with the stamps. So the possibilities are endless, and they just look cute. Even if you just wanted to stamp directly onto your paper, they will do the same thing that these do. They will add interest to your image. So don't be afraid to try these out. You know, if you are afraid, just try it on a scratch piece of paper first, and then just see what you think of it. But get comfortable with them, because they are so much fun. All right. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm excited about this new time. I think it's going to be a good time. And I will join you next week. Hopefully, I'm thinking I might be doing the die of the month. We'll see if I've got that in my hands by then. And we'll do something fun with that. But in the meantime, one way or the other, I'll have something new and fun to create next week. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you so much for watching. And I hope you have a fun, creative weekend. Bye.